Timothy. All right, it says got it. So you wanna 1 sec, Tim's coming on.
You can add. Did you add that stuff in it?
Hey, far side, I'm doing the gallery recording.
Okay.
You want half of it?
Yeah, just do half of mine.
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing?
What's up?
What's good? What's good?
Peace, big bro.
Oh yeah, I see everybody on. What's up? What's up? Thank y'all for coming out tonight. Really appreciate it. Romai, have you started letting people in, or D? Y'all can start doing that.
Once he give me the roll back.
Okay, I got you.
We'll go ahead and kick it off.
Okay. Well, to all the panelists, I definitely want to thank you guys for joining us tonight and being a part of this show. And I know that I'm pretty sure you probably haven't been like on a show like this before, because kind of just made it up a little bit. But this is an interactive show, so we do want people to be engaging in conversation. So feel free to speak your mind. If you disagree and you think something's different or have a different opinion from any of the panelists or audience members, feel free to say it. Like, just put it out there. Just try to be respectful. That's all we really ask. And the exchange that goes on. So but outside of that, just have fun with it. And then also the questions that are getting asked, those are coming from people who are actually looking to get some type of advice or direction. So kind of try to keep that in mind too. None of the questions are directed to you guys personally, asking about your personal life or nothing like that. So you're kind of just helping somebody else with their situation that they may be going through. Outside of that,
Are you ready?
I don't know. I don't know. Are you guys ready? Do you guys have any
Let's
questions?
go.
You guys have any questions you want to submit into the show? Feel free to do that in the chat, and then Trina will get on, asked on the show. So you guys will feel free to do that too. What's up, Cleveland?
Hey, what's going on?
Not much, man. So Cleveland, he's an audience member. He's pretty much attended every show we've done since the very beginning. And then last month, he actually had a chance to come to a live show, which we do this. We were doing live shows prior to the virtual show before COVID, but he got a chance to attend a live show. Cleveland, could you kind of share maybe a little bit, or did you notice any difference between the live show and the virtual show, as far as maybe the vibe or questions or any of that stuff?
Definitely, I think when it's any live format, music or whatever, when you get to see the people, when you get to see the people's reaction, that's always better. I guess there's probably a little bit different comfort level than sitting there in your home, in your own environment. But of course, that's the way actually real life is, and that's the venue where these questions actually are going to play themselves out with real people. So I think it's good to have it in the live format and to give the people an opportunity to see each other and even gauge the, I guess you could say, the real nature of the responses. So I think it's great.
Awesome. All right. Are we all good?
Yeah.
D, are we good?
Yeah, we good. Let's ride.
All right. Have you started letting people in? You go ahead and do that too.
People's in. They home.
Oh, they in? All right. What's up, people?
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, so we go ahead and get this show started. Please minimize any background noise. That way we could kind of hear everybody talk. And then also, again, this is an interactive talk show, so feel free to interact. Network in the chat. If you have a question, submit it into the chat. If you have or any comments, there's a raised hand icon that you could click, and then you'll get called up to speak. Outside of that, you can follow us on Farside TV or Heart to Heart. I mean, you can follow us on Heart to Heart Relationship Talk Show on IG, Facebook, and that's HEART2HERTRTS. If you want to see any of the past live shows from before, you can go to Farside TV, and we have them all on there. So with that being said, I want to get this show started. D, can you roll the video?
Is it love or is lust? Is it all about us? Do we really have trust? Is compromising enough? Come on, let us discuss. Heart to heart, let's start the spark. Let's talk, no fuss.
Hi, good night, everyone. I am Trina, and I'm your host for tonight. And I want to welcome everyone to the Heart to Heart Relationship Talk Show virtual event. This is the second one for the year. And trust me, if you haven't been to one, you're going to have an excited time tonight, and you're going to have a lot of fun tonight. So before we get on with the show, the Heart to Heart Relationship Talk Show is a platform for people all across the world to come together and address taboo topics on all things relationships. Viewers such as yourself are able to submit questions. No topic is taboo, and we'll have them answered by our celebrity panelists that are on the show. We also have an opportunity for business owners to also market their brands. Please take advantage of this opportunity to network within the chat, or even to subscribe to any of the professional resources that we will place in the chat. Remember to follow us on all social media platforms at Heart2HeartRTS, and that's like TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, you name it, we're doing it all. And subscribe to all our pages to keep up to date with everything that we're doing, to include the live shows that we have. Now, also, we want you to follow Farside TV, as they have been with us from day one. Shout out to Ramai. He has been super awesome, and we're able to stream the show live on YouTube. So before we get into the show, I just need to lay out a few of the rules so that everyone can follow. If an audience member would like to comment, please tap the raise hand icon and ensure that your camera is turned on. Remember, we're streaming live, and also we're going to put this on Tubi. So, we want to ensure that everyone's on and everyone can see your face and you're responding to a question. You then have 1 minute to deliver your response to the question. Please feel free to express yourself, but remain respectful to everyone that is here, and just have fun, network, meet people. There's a lot of people on this chat platform from all over the world, different states, working in different genres and different areas of work. Just get to know each other. And with that being said, I am going to hand it over to D so he can play our video and introduce our panelists. D, over to you.
Hi everybody, it's your girl Honey Stacks. I'm a rapper, a singer, an actress, a radio personality. I support local talent, and I will be on a talk show for relationships. So you can, add that to my resume. And you can follow me on IG at honey_stacks, STAXX. Also, you can follow me on the Talk Heavy Radio Show website. And I'm an artist with Certified Nation Entertainment. So you can follow me online at www.certifiednationentertainment.com. There you go. Be softer than some ice cream. Soft. Be softer than some ice cream.
Life is all a big distraction. What movie y'all playing? Y'all doing all this acting. Gotta eat for effort though. I'm sitting back here laughing.
So I am a certified life coach. My niche is in relationships, that's platonic and intimate relationships. So my content will be focused on, both of those. So it'll kind of flip-flop. It is for men and women because I focus on mindset change and accountability. So I don't necessarily do like women's empowerment or only content for men. So it's literally for everybody. And then the brand name is Conquering Relationships. So you can just find it on all platforms.
So I am pretty sure I've made a video like this before, but you're going to always teach a person how to treat you. And you're going to teach them not as in we sitting in class and I'm just going to give you a rundown, but you're going to teach a person how to treat you based off what you allow. Everybody ain't taught certain things. Everybody don't grow up with certain morals that you have or certain thought processes that you have. So you won't always in life teach somebody how to treat you based off what you allow.
Well, I'm Kareem Thompson. I'm a professional drummer, and you can actually contact me at Kareem Thompson 108 at yahoo.com for any like work or any inquiries or stuff like that. And my Instagram is Kareem L. Thompson, and so is my Facebook. Everything is just my full name.
I'm a YouTuber. You can find me on the Dante Show Network. I got 3 channels, the Dante Show Network, Prison Stories, and I just made a horror channel called Twisted Story, something like that.
The Dante Show.
I only had 8 months left. 8 months left to go. And then I get approached with this. It was 5 GDs, gangster disciples. One of them approached me and said, yo, your bunkie, he's a snitch. I'm gonna need for you to take care of that or else. I'm thinking in my head like, hold up, hold on. Or else. I say, or else what? He was like, all right, say less. And he walked off. When he walked off, I took off running to my cell and grabbed that blade. Let's get to this story.
Hi, everyone. It is your favorite funny girl comedian, Judge Miles, and you already know that when the judge is in, the verdict is out. I am a multifaceted young lady. I am on fire. I am a comedian, a podcaster, as well as a fitness instructor, and I am a woman of empowerment. If you guys want to catch me, you can catch me on all social media under comedian Judge Miles, as well as www.themilesexperience. Also, I am so booked in these last 2 months.
Anyways, on this situationship, I just really want to know, have you guys ever dated somebody in prison? If you did date somebody in prison, were you in love? Did you really have a normal relationship with somebody in prison? Did you cheat? Did you stay? Please call in 1-248-854-9850. I'm cheating as soon as you call me talking about this is a collect call. As soon as you be like, hey baby, they just put me in prison, I'll be like, oh damn, that's what's up.
Is it love or is lust? Is it all about us? Do we really have trust? Is compromising enough?
Listen, I gotta shout out our other co-producer, D. I swear, that music, that beat, that is all D Walls, Starving Mind Records. That is all him in the vocals, the music, everything. So D, I gotta big you up. Big up yourself. All right, let's start off these questions. So our first question for the night is to deal with dating. So I'm just gonna read it as it comes. Is the dating pool really trash, or are some people just saying that because they refuse to make necessary changes to attract a quality mate? I'm gonna repeat that one more time. Is the dating pool really trash, or are some people just saying that because they refuse to make the necessary changes to attract a quality mate? And with that being said, I'm gonna hand it over to you first, Kareem.
That's crazy. I was just saying to my mom, I'm like, dang, they probably not even gonna call me cool. I could just sit here and be high and just listen to everybody.
No.
But I will say this: I am no shade to nobody, but I'm probably like the youngest out of everybody in this chat. So, I don't think the dating pool. I think that don't take this no way, ladies, but I think that women made it a little easier for guys to really have their way in some shape or form to where no relationships or nothing is lasting because nobody really care about nobody no more. Everybody just in it for the sex and just go on about life in some sense. And then you like nobody's really trying to like take people out on dates no more. And really like everybody is from the rip, like trying to go to somebody's house immediately, especially my younger generation. Like that's what it's all about. Like God, ain't nobody trying to meet nobody parents or care about any of that or even talk about marriage. Like people not even really get married like that anymore. If you're really paying attention to what's going on in the world and stuff and in all of our areas where we live at. So no, I think the dating pool is fine. It just depends on who you come across who's really mature enough for you because you got to really see through people and know their intentions. Because if not, then you're going to fail.
All right. Honey Stacks, are you agreeing to what Kareem is saying or you got something else to add?
I think what he's saying is true in some aspects, but I also feel that today the tables kind of flip where more men seem to be what quote unquote in their feelings, where women who used to be quote unquote in their feelings and wanted that one-on-one relationship, it's like it's not like that anymore. Women are starting to be more providers of the home and taking on so many roles that dating is like, okay, you want to date, but maybe you're working too hard, maybe you got too much going on, or maybe being a successful woman, it's really difficult. But I don't agree all the way, and then I do agree. So I just think that we're not in our feelings as much anymore.
So that's the part that you don't agree with, that we're not in our feelings as much and the roles have been reversed.
Yeah, because men used to be it used to be kind of difficult. Like you wanted to be like that only one, that only person with them, and then you will find out either like sometimes they was cheating, or you wasn't the one that you really, the relationship really wasn't what you thought it was because you didn't ask proper questions. But it just seemed a little bit like we were more wanting a relationship versus like now it's like, all right, I mean, we'll see where it goes. We're not really wanting a relationship like straight off the bat, like before.
Okay, I may have to agree with that a little bit. All right, Judge Miles, what you got to say with the verdict?
All right, so I think it's both. I think that the dating pool has piss in it. However, I also believe that people are asking for a lot of things in a relationship. They want you to come with the table, but they are not even ready for a relationship. They are not willing to change who they are. Women are not willing to submit. They talk too goddamn much. They want all of these things, but they don't have anything to bring to the table. And so I think that also is stopping them from getting in healthy relationships, because if I'm looking for a professional man who has A, B, and C, then he also is looking for a professional woman who can be his helpmeet that has A, B, and C. So if you are looking for that, but you love to twerk and say A all day, you're probably not going to find it.
Okay. So Dante, what you got to say?
Agree with what Portia said. But I want to add something. See, I've been out of the game for about 10 years. So what I do find is that it's just a different time now. It really is. But I know this. Prior to me meeting my lady, I was a dog. And one of my last things that I'm just gonna say, I was with this chick for about a year, and I didn't cheat on her, but I could have. But I was just a too much mess to cheat. But when she left me, I thought I had her wrapped around my finger, but when she left me, I was heartbroken and all this and that, and I'm like, dang, I think I really did love that girl, and I got depressed, and then in my depression, I end up. I'm going to say I was with a different woman every Friday I went to the club, and then I don't know, it just got real crazy. But that's a story. I ain't even gonna go through that. But I think people, if you would change for the person that you want to change for, everybody ain't for everybody, and you just got to find the right person. Like she was saying, if you got a chick out there that's real ratchet, they ain't gonna get nobody. One more thing. One more thing. I agree. Who was that? The first Kareem. I agree with everything he said, except for I think the first part when he said that it's the women's fault. No, it's not the women's fault. It's the men's fault. It's our fault because we are the head. So we've been messed up, and that's because we wasn't taught. Because I know I didn't grow up with no little figure to teach me how to deal with a lady or a woman. So it really comes with the man. Us men got these women out here ratchet like that. But
okay. Well, just to remember, the man is the head, but the woman is the neck. Just remember that part. I know why you laughing. Just remember that part. All right, let's not tie it up, but let's hear from our life coach. Is she on, Brandy? I saw her on. Conquering relationships. Hopefully, did she sign off for a bit? Because she was on. Okay, I wanted her to close off, but we can wait on her to sign back in. Do we have any of our audience members that want to chime in on this question and give their perspective? I will repeat the question, but any of our audience members want to chime in? Don't be shy. This is a safe space, a very safe space for everyone. So don't be shy. Click that raise hand icon. No one? Okay. Are you seeing Brandy Boo?
Hold it, Trina. We have some hands up.
Okay,
got,
I see.
Prostel
and Cleveland. All right, we'll hit up with Prostel. Go on, Prostel.
Yeah, I think. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yep, we hear you.
I think that it was interesting hearing the perspective because like the other brother said, I'm 46, and I know the older I've gotten, the pool of the criteria to be in a relationship with me has gotten harder and harder and harder. So I think it's actually natural that your dating pool is going to get smaller the more you know yourself. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I think that that's a good thing because the more you learn about yourself, the smaller and smaller that list goes, the more things that you're unwilling to accept. Like you just become clear and clear what you need on a relationship. So I think the dating pool is smaller as you get older, just quite naturally. And I think that's a good thing because I think, the smaller the pool gets, the closer you get to the person you're supposed to be with. So,
right.
You know what I'm saying? I think it is getting smaller, but I don't think that's bad.
Okay. And so do you think people need to change their ideas, their views?
Nah, I don't think so. I think
what they want?
No. I think you have to get a better understanding of yourself. Because once you have a better understanding of yourself, then you know what it is that you're looking for. A lot of people will get crossed off the list. And I think that's the function of relationships. It's a reflection of yourself. Like, okay, I can't be with this type of person. I need to be with this type of person. And the clear and clear that list goes from I could date anybody to it's really, really specific. So I don't think you change. I think you just learn about yourself and that changes who you can and can't date.
I agree. You grow.
I really agree with that.
Yeah.
All right, Cleveland, chiming in.
Can you hear me? I think what my man just said is true, but I think a lot of people start to eliminate people through social media, and they're allowing social media to play a really big influence versus taking the chance on meeting people, talking to people themselves. The other thing is that people are in such a hurry because, like a lot of panelists said, is because they're on some bullshit and they're in a hurry to do something before you find out who they really are. And that's really a problem. I think, like I said, social media plays a big part. And it also is telling people with the influx of porn and this type of thing, what's available out here. You can go out here and you can just do this, you can do that. But people really need to start, like my man said, getting to know themselves, and you'll naturally start eliminating people because of where you are and who you want to be in life.
I agree with that fully. All right. I see that we have Brandy. Brandy, you good?
I think so. My computer keeps kicking me off.
Oh, there. All right. Did you want me to repeat the question or
I
can you
heard the
give us?
question. Yeah, I heard the question. I did kind of miss some of the responses because I got kicked out. But I think it's both. I know I heard Kareem's response. I do agree with him. But I think it's both. I think there is a lot of trash in the dating scene, and then I do think we do. I don't think we know how to date correctly. I think a lot of us do. We put sex in it first, and then, especially as women, we kind of like let our emotions lead us off of the sex, not realizing that, we may be having sex with somebody who's not even looking at us as relationship material or, as a woman that they even want more with. It's just sex. So, I think that's a issue with us not knowing ourselves. I don't know if somebody said that already, but a lot of us don't know ourselves, to be honest. Like, we're dealing with life, we're dealing with depression, we're dealing with past traumas that we didn't get over from like the last relationship. It's a lot of things we're dealing with, and we're bringing that into the dating scene with us.
Okay, so the best bit is to learn about yourself before you give it to a next person, before you give yourself to a next person.
Yeah,
Okay.
let a smash be a smash and let a date be a date. If you're going to just smash and that's what it is, let that be a
Then
smash. Don't try
smash.
to date them, Just
Yep. If you're not ready,
dating
you're
and
not ready.
dating could be just going out to eat. You might not smash that person. That's a date. You might go on another date. But if you smash and you combine the two.
That's true. Okay. I like those responses to the next question. I'm sorry, to the question that we had. All right. So before I jump into question 2, I think we have Hummer Boy. Is Hummer Boy here? Nope, he's not. Okay. So we're going to move into question number 2.
No, Trina, he is here.
He is.
Yeah. So I'm gonna bring him up in just a minute here. I want to run this snippet right quick.
Okay.
So,
and just so people know, Hummer Boy has a movie called The Pandemic, and it's on Tubi.
Make sure to put your phone on mute, people.
all right, yeah, we couldn't get the audio to go, but you was able to see a quick snippet of the show. And what I want to do is bring up Hummer Boy. He's the producer of the movie called Pandemic, and allow him to tell you all about the movie, and then where you can find him at it and how you can view it. Boy, you gotta unmute yourself, brother.
Oh, okay, here we go. Oh, thanks for having me. I just want to thank y'all for having me on the show.
Yeah.
Can y'all hear me?
Thank you, brother. Yeah, we hear you. So
the movie is called The Pandemic. It's not actually on Tubi yet. It's available through a link for rent right now. And it's about these two guys who at the height of the pandemic, like they go from being broke to rich to back broke again. So, it's like they just two guys trying to find a way. One had a real job, one was just doing petty scams. But when their unemployment money came in, they hopped on it and they got the ball, and then they became rich, but then they blew all the money. So what really happened in real life, I seen that with my real eyes, so I decided to make it into a movie.
That's what's up. And where can they go to be able to see or rent the movie?
Okay, so if you go on Instagram at the Pandemic movie, it's a link in the bio. It will be on Tubi in about a month and a half, but right now it's only available through the link because Tubi got a little waiting time when you submit it. So we submitted it, but it ain't made it out the queue yet.
All right. You got anything else in the pipeline? Any movie coming out or any other projects?
I'm trying to push out 2-3 movies a year. So we got some actors and actresses in here. Y'all can hit me up too.
Where can they find you at?
You can find me on Instagram at Hummerboy313. I'm only on Instagram right now.
Okay. Yeah, thanks for joining. Hey, I look forward to seeing you chime in on these topics too.
Oh yeah.
I already know you be on it.
Yeah. If y'all
right,
want me
nice.
to chime in on something, let me know.
Yep, all you need to do is just click the raise hand icon, and then once we've finished, the panelists have answered the questions, then we'll hand it over to the audience for responses. So if you got something to say, just click that raise hand icon, and then we'll get to you and bring you up for you to give your view. All right?
Yep, thank you.
No problem. All right, so let's jump into question number 2. I think I like this one. And it has to do with, let's say, friendships, and especially if you're like a female and you have male friends, and vice versa, as a male having female friends, and the interactions that you have with them. So the question sent in: should your significant other have a say on who you can be friends with? And if so, would it matter if the friends had a history? So I'll repeat that one more time. Should your significant other have a say on who you can be friends with? If so, would it matter if the friends had a history? And I'm gonna get Judge Miles to start us off with this.
OMG, that's so juicy. All right, so prior to my fiance right now, I believed in, if you had prior friends before me that were truly your friends, you never had any sexual encounters with, I don't think that it's fair for me to come into a relationship and tell you who you can be friends with or not. I think that the proper thing to do is to make sure that they know who I am and I feel secure. However, and vice versa, right? Because there are some people that's been in our lives that are strictly platonic. We've never had sex with, they've been a big bro or a big sis to us. They've been there for us when we were down or whatever the case may be. And so I think that we should be able to trust one another because we're adults. If I say I never did it to this person, you never did it, then what's the problem? We should be able to cohabitate, right? However, I do feel like in that same instance, if your mate begins to have an issue with it for whatever reason, maybe they're insecure, maybe they feel like the only reason he didn't say nothing yet is because he ain't found the time yet, whatever the case may be, I do think that it's important if they are someone that you're going to be with. If it's just like a boyfriend or something like that, I don't know, do what you're going to do. But if you plan on being with this person, it is important to hear where they're coming from and evaluate the friendship, because the last thing you want to do is make your significant other feel some type of way about somebody who it really isn't like that. So when I got with my fiance right now, he's an alpha man and he's just not having it. It's not that he's insecure. He feels like men and women cannot be in a platonic relationship. If they have been in a platonic relationship, that they're just waiting on their chance. And, he has been very cordial with my friends that I have been with for years, but he has put like a little boundary in between where it's like, I'm your best friend now, I'm your man now, whatever they were doing, I can do that. And that's it. You know what I mean? They need to be respectful, and that's what it is. And I have to listen to that because I plan on marrying this man. And that's just what it is. I'm not about to argue with him over somebody who I ain't with. And I feel like as friends, they should be able to respect that, because when they get their women or whatever the case may be, you don't hear from them either. So why am I going to argue with my man who I love over my friend that I'm not even with? So that's my take on it.
Man, I got a story. I'm kidding. All right, I love that answer. All right, Kareem, what you got to say about this?
Well, shoot, Judge said it all. I mean, I feel that same way for real. I mean, me personally, I never had like a female friend that it was like eventually somewhere it went left. I can't speak on everybody because everybody different. So there are people out there who, can handle that type stuff. But me personally, like I'm like her fiance. I'm an alpha male. Like I really don't even play that shit. Like unless he gay, like super gay or something, then cool. I'm with that all day long. But other than that, nah, I just don't trust it. So that's just me.
Okay. All right. Dante, what you got to say?
Kareem spoke for me, and that's it.
Point blank, full stop. That's it. Okay. Honey Stacks, you out there? What you got to say?
Well, I kind of been on both sides, so I don't know if you guys follow me on my page, but I have a lot of male friends. I have a lot of platonic male friends, and I find that most of them find me attractive as well. And I won't cross that line. I won't cross that line with a man. I won't cross that line without a man. If you're my friend, you're my friend, whether you're male or female. And I learned to be this way because I've given a lot of females my heart, and called them my friends, and they've hurt me. I've given my male friends my heart, and they haven't hurt me, So I learned to treat people as people. These men trust me with secrets. They come to me for advice. They try to hit on me. Some of them don't, at the end of the day, I'm not that sore on the eyes. So they're gonna look, especially if I have a nice outfit on, but they're gonna look. If I was in a relationship, the person that I would be with would have to understand that I have male friends. I'm in the entertainment world, the business, and there's going to be a lot of men around me. Whether you're my friend or not, you're going to have to trust me. And I'm going to have to trust you. And on the flip side to this, when I was in a long-term relationship, 10 plus years, been there, done that, the female friends that this man had was supposed to be platonic, was friends. I was supposed to understand, but where were these friends the whole time I was with you? Now, I'm not saying they didn't grow up with you. I'm not saying you didn't know them from school or whatever the case may be. But to me, if they were friends, I would have known about them or at least heard about them. They would have been in a baby shower. They'd have been somewhere. So I think that it's all about the type of relationship you are with and the person you're with and the type of what's going on in that person's life. I would be upset if I had to lose some of the male friends, especially my friend Fat Boy. I'm gonna shout him out because that is my male best friend. And if I had to lose him as a friend just because the guy I was with felt some kind of way like I couldn't have a male friend, even though I know I would never smash him, I would be hurt by that. Will I listen and entertain what my companion is saying, how he feels? Yes, I would respect that. But will I cut my friend off? I don't think so. So I guess I'm gonna be in a dilemma because I'm not letting go of my friends. Because when it comes down to when it comes down to things that really I have been through, that person was there for me. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna just because he's a male just be like, oh well, and he's not gay, So
Come on, honey, we ain't gonna work out there. We gonna just end this like I said. We ain't gonna work out there.
We not.
That
And
ain't
that's
gonna
why
work out.
It goes back to what we said before about the dating pool. You have to attract what it is that you really want to be with. Because I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to just be like from 10 plus years worth of friendship. Oh, now I got a man. I'm not your friend no more because my man is insecure in some ways about our friendship. Not gonna do it.
I agree, man. All right, Brandy, what you got for us?
I think Prostel hand was up before me. I don't want to.
Okay, we'll do the audience ones after our panelists. I'll try and Prostel after.
I almost thought I was an eyeball, honey. You grabbed that, you took that ball for me. The thing with me is I stand on you can't control another person. I don't care what your title is. I don't care if you're husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, wife. I do not care. You cannot control another person. And Kareem, I gotta respect you. You said y'all not gonna work out. I'm not gonna work out with a person who think they gotta control me. So if you telling me I can't have a male friend because you feel they will sleep with me, then I do think there's a deeper issue there on your end, especially if I'm not showing you like, it's something crazy there. But I feel like you can't control people. So when you get to that motion where you're controlling who people's friends are, you're losing your individuality. And I don't believe you have to let go of your life for your relationship. I don't believe in that. I believe a healthy you makes a healthy relationship. Now, if your partner is showing you this is strictly platonic, I'm saying boundaries, they are not crossing the boundaries, like they are strictly here for us, then I don't see the need to let them go. And a real friend on their own, they're going to back up because they know, hey, that's your dude now. Hey, he got this. You don't need me for anything. And then you're a woman. I say this to men and women all the time. If you got to control your person's friends, it's something in your partner that's a red flag. Because your partner should be the one that shut that, I don't know if we can curse, but shut that shit down. You don't have to shut anything down. Your partner's going to do that for you. So like Portia, I think it is, like you said, you don't want your person feeling insecure. So guess what? Baby, this is a platonic friend. I ain't gonna let you feel insecure. I'm gonna shut it down if something is there, but you also not gonna control me and saying I cannot have outside life or outside friends because you feel they will sleep with me. Do you trust me? I'm the one you're in a relationship with. Let me shut it down. You know what I mean? So
okay. Listen.
I agree.
I want to chime in, but I'm gonna give it to the audience first. I love all these responses because I agree wholeheartedly and fully. But Kareem, that response, I gotta big you up with that response because
I mean, I understand. Like I've been in a relationship for 11 years, so it's like my girl, she older than me by 12 years. She ain't never had no male friends. So I never even had to deal with somebody who had male friends. You feel what I'm saying? So it's
I
like
get you. You're
I ain't
not
never
phased
had
by
to really
that
go
either.
through it on some real.
Okay. All right, let's hit it over to the audience, and we're gonna go with Prostel. Let's go, Prostel.
Yes, ma'am. I think this is one of those questions that comes down almost entirely to the people who are in the relationship, right? Like relationships are based on agreements between the two individuals. They're based on communication. Disclaimer: my relationship, I'm in a polyamorous relationship, right? We're ethically non-monogamous. So I absolutely 100% have very close friends that I have had sex with, that be over the house, that we are both really good friends with. But that's based on communication going into the relationship. It's understood coming through the door. This is how it is, and it's not. It's still based on integrity. We still have to have agreements around how we're gonna move in that space, because even inside of the polyamorous square, that could look 100 different ways. Different people have different agreements. But since it comes down to personal, I'll answer it personally. Oh yeah, 100%. I still have really good friends that I've been intimate with that's around. She still has friends that she's been intimate with that's been around, but like all relationships, is based on the integrity. It's based on the trust. That's the short version.
And
For the
of
long
course,
version, tune in next month.
communication, because you're talking and you're understanding each other. So
100%.
Thanks for that
100%.
perspective, Prostel.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, let's hit it over to Hummer Boy. Let's hear what you gotta say.
All right. I feel like I got like two different ways I feel. If they was childhood friends, like from the sandbox, grew up together, never did nothing, that's one thing. But if they like met at the job or met at the park or just met recently and they friends, like I ain't with that, because we all as men know that if we get a call from any of our female friends at 2 a.m. saying, "Hey, I want you to come over here, come hit this," we going. If we single, we going. And I feel like y'all women, I think one of them was Honey Stacks and another young lady, I can't say her name. I don't think y'all want y'all men around a woman who real sexy, wear sexy clothes, real flirty, real outgoing. Y'all gonna have a problem with y'all men being around a woman like that and being real close friends. And I think
No,
y'all
I'm
would.
not. No, I'm not. I'm being honest. No, I'm not. I'm not a jealous person. And to be honest with you, you can have a person that you grew up with and say that they're your friend, and then all of a sudden now they come back. You may didn't see them in a long time. They come back and now they y'all friends, and y'all never did anything. But now your mate may have a conversation with them about what's going on in your relationship, and now that thing just starts. They start clicking. I mean, things can happen no matter what. No matter what. Like even if they grew up in a sandbox, like they still can sleep together. I think you gotta have trust either way. That's just my
Yeah.
opinion. I'm not jealous
Yeah.
at all. My man could be around 1,000 women. It's what he do. If he makes that decision to do something, he knew we was in a relationship. That's on him.
Amen. That must say,
Yeah.
girl. All right. Cleveland, chiming in.
Yeah, I was thinking, first of all, you live a life and, like my man said, I got my homeboy, from first grade. I got, homegirls from elementary and junior high school. You coming along and I care for you, but you telling me the people that have my back my entire life, I can't be their friend no more? Boo, that's your problem.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'll fight for my friends because they my friends, for real.
Amen.
And the fact that you can't trust them, I'm sorry, they not for you, first of all. Not realistically, they my friends. And for people to say, I'm your wife and I'm your so-and-so and I'm gonna be your everything, boo, you not gonna be everything. I still got my mama, my brothers, my sisters, all those people who made me who I am. You ain't gonna be everything. And you don't need to be everything.
Yeah. And
Now,
you can't be everything. So
there
yeah,
you go.
you really can't.
You will break your neck trying to be everything and will want the response like you everything. No, it's not going to be like that. It's a share back and forth. I don't need everything.
Yeah. And that causes people to be sneaky.
Need you to be their best friend.
Yeah.
So now, like I said, these are people you've known before. These are people who have loved you and cared for you. I got that. But of course it depends on the history. Now, if it's new people, that's for y'all to discuss and that's for y'all to figure out yourselves in your relationship. Because sometimes you can see as a male or a female things that they cannot see. Because women can see the conniving side of women that dudes can't see. Believe me. Sisters, aunts, cousins have put me up on, excuse me, that bitch ain't right. I was like, oh. I was like, okay, let me know. And then when you talking to them about it, you can hear it in their voice. Boo, we thought we taught you better than this. You don't see what's happening? So it depends on the situation. First of all, lifelong friends, that's for me. New people, y'all can discuss and set your boundaries and blah, 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 because your woman can see, your man can see, they can see the game that you can't see, and that's for y'all to work out and come together and make good decisions on.
You're right.
I like that compromise.
I love that, Cleveland. All right, let's hear from CF Jackson. I see that you raised your hand. Hi and welcome.
Hey, thank you. I'm here from the ATL. This is some good stuff right here. I'm eating. This is funny scenario because I have all my parents are men. And they lead with their significant other whom they're dating. They immediately let them know that I'm in their life, the woman's life. They do. And I love that because the fact that that woman knows. So for example, my male friend for like 96, he got married the first time. I didn't meet the chick, they got divorced. Second one, he led with me with the wedding. It's that relationship. She calls me his second wife. But one thing, we on one side of the Atlantic to the other. It's platonic. So all my male friends are all platonic. Some of them, they do talk kind of fresh, but I don't want any of them. I just don't. They're there for me like brothers, and they treat me just like a little sister. So like Cleveland said, I can't imagine someone. Well, I had one male friend, his wife, and we weren't that close in terms of length. He said my name too much, and he can't say my name to this day. He said, like 10 years, he can't even say my name in the household. And I said to him one day, and I thought about it, I said, if something was to happen to you, we talking on the phone, we give people, advice to each other, business and all that kind of stuff, would I know? Because you're my friend. We ain't kicking it, we're not in anything. But I said, that's kind of trifling that your wife still, all these years, no, I don't want you. Your little bald head stuff, I don't want you, never did. I respect that. But I think to myself is that what kind of shit do we have if something happened to you? He said you got to call the house, and then finally she'll answer. She gonna know who you are. But I said it's kind of sad that she has some type of feeling that he doesn't even get out. He's with her all the time, so he's not coming to see me. I'm not seeing him. I haven't seen him in like 20 years. But the thing is that he cannot say my name. But my other male friends, they got me. Coming to the wedding, I'm at everything. They lead with my name. So I'm with Cleveland, I'm with Honey, and I asked, my friend I really talked about this the other day. He said he would never, I don't know, never is a really strong word. He would never let somebody come between our friendship because I had been there during his troubled time of depression and stuff. And I would be hurt because again, it's a relationship of friendship of being there when someone's down, and we were there for me. So I think it's all about your comfort zone. And like Cleveland said, how fresh it is, but you can't have someone with just one side, because someone said your mate would not be everything you need them to be. And if you're trying to do that, it's going to be a long relationship, because you got to have friends for everything that you need them for. Your mate may not be in sports, may not be in shopping, but you can find that significant other friends who can do all those things your mate can do. So I agree with Honey, I agree with Cleveland, and what's the other? Kareem, you all right, because you've been for a long time, so you ain't worried about it anyway. So you happy.
All right, nice.
Thanks.
All right. Judge Miles, you wanted to chime in before I close off this question? I see your hand raised.
I do. So, okay, I don't want to offend nobody. I'm just telling y'all. I think that I hear what everybody's saying, and I respect what everybody's saying. And prior to, I felt a lot of these ways, but I really feel like this is why we're going to have a lot of single women and a lot of people who are not going to be in a relationship, because certain type of men, and I don't think necessarily that it is all. Always insecurity. It's different male friends. I can see one or two lifelong friends that you've been friends with all your life, nothing ever happened. But when we get into things where we're saying like, okay, they might like me, they might not, that's a problem for men. And it doesn't make you insecure that you don't want to share your woman who you truly love. Now, if you don't love a woman, that's different. If you don't love a man, that's different. If you're not really trying to have something, that's different. But somebody who you truly love, naturally, you're going to feel something, because the Bible literally says that you're supposed to let go of your mother and your father and you cling on to your husband or your wife. That also goes to about your friends. That also goes for, your children. You put your husband and your wife before your children, your friends, and everybody else. They say that in the Bible. And so I think
George, you better speak.
Wait a minute. And so I think that this is why there are so many single women, because instead of really seeing it from a man's perspective, we go straight to, they got to be insecure, they got to be jealous, why can't they just love their person and know man nature? And man nature is exactly what Honey Sex said. There are many friends that like her. They think she's sexy, and even though she never crossed those boundaries, if she called and said, come hit this, they'll come hit that. So what kind of real man want you around another man like that? I mean, let's just be real. And in our minds, I just want to say for CF Jackson, in my mind, I just feel like, it's nice for you to be friends with these men. But if their wives have an issue, I feel like it's not right for you to say that their wives have an issue or anything like that, because that's their marriage. And a true friend will back off. A true friend will not get in between what God has put forth, because you're not a part of that union, no matter how long you've been their friend. It's about respect, period. That's how I feel.
Yep.
Can I answer that? Can I comment on that?
No, because I wanted to speak up for myself since you put my name in it.
All right. All right. We're going to take three more responses. So I'm going to go with you first, Brandy. Hit it.
That one.
Hold on, Brandy.
I keep on mute.
Okay, there you go. You're good now.
Okay. So first of all, I do want to say, when we start getting into the Bible of things, we don't want to misinterpret the scriptures on that, because not all marriages, not all relationships God joined together. So we got to start there. And then it says cleave. It didn't say leave all these people as in just forget that they exist, just forget their, relevancy in your life. Not only that, what works for one person is not going to work for everybody else. And that's what we got to keep in mind, because not only that, to debunk a lot of what we're saying with the men, I know plenty of men who don't want their girl to have a male friend. He was heavy on cheating. He isolated her from the world. He isolated her from her male friends. He isolated her from her female friends. And he was heavy on cheating. So I don't agree with the
you're going to be single if you feel like you got to have male friends, because not only that, a lot of us don't want these quote unquote alpha men. And that's another thing. People call themselves alpha, but they really ain't alpha. That's a whole nother subject to get into. But a lot of us don't want the same type of man. So I want a secure man. Personally, I wouldn't date a man who don't have female friends, because something right there, I need to see how you react around these women. I need to see if you have self-control. I need to see if you have boundaries. If I don't see you interact with other women, how do I trust you? That's just the way I look at it. Like, so I respect y'all. You know, you don't want to do the opposite sex friends. Cool, to each his own. But for me, I wouldn't date a man that don't have opposite sex friends, because that kind of makes me question, why don't you? What happened? And do you sleep with all of them? And that's a you problem. That's not the friend's problem.
And to piggyback off of that, some of these males that don't have, or don't show you that they have female friends, you'll find some of them, you'll find out about these female friends later. Like if y'all are going through something and you could be well into a marriage, and you'll find out later these friends popped up that they supposed that already had. But just to also say, I do find that I have men right now who want to have a relationship. I'm the one who don't want to have a relationship with all the men around me. So I don't have a problem getting a good man and wanting a relationship. You might find out he's bad. Men, I don't have a problem with the male scene at all. I have a problem being too busy to not be in a relationship. That's my issue. But as far as finding a man and having a man, it's plenty of men that want me. I just don't have the time for them. And they know I got my friends, because they know I'm an actress, I'm a rapper, I'm in the entertainment industry, and that's what I do. So I'm going to be around males all day. So it is what it is. And I do believe that God, since we're going to talk about God, there's somebody for everybody in this world. You know, there's somebody for everybody, no matter what. And just because a relationship start out looking like it's going to last and it's going to be good does not mean it always will end up that way. And that's from somebody who's been in a relationship for 18 plus years. So I do know a little bit of something.
All right. Miss Jackson, did you want to just respond with a response, or are we good?
Yeah, to Portia, I'm not in their marriage. It's a friendship. He's on one side of town. We don't hang out together. We just have a conversation. We just collaborate on business. So whatever they're going through, that's over there, and I don't get into it. And any friendship that I have is still a great friendship, because little does she know, I've helped him along the way in his business. So therefore, I'm that female, that bounce off situation where we like brothers and sisters, where we collaborate together. So I'm not in a relationship, anything like that. Backing off, this is to back off, because we just on the phone collaborating as brothers and sisters. So I'm not in nobody's marriage. I ain't trying to break nobody's marriage up again, because I don't want him, and I want to help him with his relationship. So no, I ain't like that.
All right. Well, I agree with everyone fully. I think once you're in a relationship, you also need to maintain your personal identity. And if you've had these friends, like I have about 4 close male friends, I ensure they all know him, because I don't want no problems. They all know him, and they're strictly platonic. When I say platonic, like people will look at us like, oh, you might like each other. Like, hell no. That will never happen. And they've been my friends for over 15 years. I don't do no new male friendships. I'm not about that life. That's not going to happen, because I don't trust no man. Especially new friendships. It's always, if you slip, you slide. And they ain't going to be afraid to slide. And I'm not about that life. But if you have a friend, and let's say you're sending pictures, or if you've done something in the past, and you're going to look at me and tell me that's your friend, I'm going to side eye you. Because that don't make no sense to me. That ain't your friend. Because if you slip, they're going to slide right through. So with that being said, we're going to move into a commercial. But before we get into a commercial, it's our intermission. And I wanted to shout out our sponsors, of course. We have Starving Mind Records, which is brought to you by our very own co-producer, D Walls Can Talk, Code Creations, Streamcastic or Podcastic, that is where we're streaming with you guys now, Bliss Romantique, and also Farside TV. Now, before we get into our next question, I'm going to bring up D Walls so he can talk to us a little bit about our talent showcase and highlight our artist, which is Honey Stacks. D Walls, over to you.
What up, though? Once again, This is a segment where we have the talent showcase, and you all can go on Heart to Heart RTS on Instagram to find out how you can submit in any type of videos. And you know, it's easy, it's free. You just submit in your work to our Gmail, and you also just submit in a comment on the Instagram. So tonight we have Honey Stacks. Y'all done heard her already. So y'all see that she have some great insight. Now you're gonna see a song that's hot. So without further ado, let me go ahead and get into this this video here.
Staring at the sunrise, we're riding on a spaceship now, so we're taking off, it's real love, face it. And I hope we make it. I'm praying for an outcome. You don't like the heart when you can't live without one. The power of the mind, simple law of attraction. Pardon my reaction, you're not a distraction. Your mind satisfaction, complete chain reaction. A half and a half makes a whole, it's a fraction. Since you came into my life, I will never be the same. All the tears I cried at night, and you helped release the pain. I will never forget about you. You're my lover, you're my friend. I don't care how it started, I don't want this love to end.
I just want your love, but your love is wicked. I don't wanna feel cause my heart is sinking. I don't wanna leave, but I got the feelings. I just wanna dance cause I like the music. Your love is music, babe. Your love is music. Your love is music, babe. Your love is music. Thought of you keep running through my brain. Baby, yes, you run it up. A touch from you keep flowing through my veins.
All right, Honey Stacks, that video is on point. That beat is on point. Can you share with us like just a minute or so, you know, about making that video and, you know, the meaning behind the song?
Yes. First of all, shout out to Bex. His name is Bex Richardson. Please follow him on IG. He is a friend, a platonic friend. We even acted inside of the video. And he's a new one. All right, no, that's just me being silly, guys. But he is a friend. Shout out to Bex Richardson. The video came into play because we met at a networking event, and I wanted to switch up my style and do some versatility. I was playing with my talent, and he's African, and he does Afro beats, and he said he had a studio, so we decided to, you know, listen to some beats together, and that beat, he played that beat in the studio, and I was like, I'm gonna write something right now. And to be honest with you guys, I was really, really sick. I didn't know I was sick during this time. So when I was singing the song and everything, when I recorded the song, I actually had a really bad cold. That I had a fever in the studio. I had no idea I was really this sick. I kept saying, I don't feel good, but I wanted to write this song because he lived too far and I wasn't coming back to the studio. So as sick as I was, and I was burning up, I was writing. I just wanted to do something that was different than I ever done, and just write something that anybody can listen to, and it's not really about anybody. It's just something like, you hear me when I say staring at the sunrise, we're riding on a spaceship now, so we're taking off, it's real love, face it. I mean, that's just art, that's creativity, that's talent. That was just me being creative. And I wrote that down, and then he has such a beautiful voice. Oh my God. And so he was like, you know, he was, I don't want to hurt nobody. He was, you know, he started putting all that. And then, you know, we got to the studio. We went to a bigger studio because we did that in his studio in his house. And so we went to a bigger studio, paid the money, recorded the song, and decided to do a video. And so I was like, okay, well, I have an idea. Do you all remember the movie Coming to America?
Yeah.
Dubai. All right. So Coming to America. So I thought of if you watch the video further, it's on YouTube. You'll see how my brother is playing a prince, my real brother, my biological brother. He's playing a prince, and the queen and king wants my brother to marry who they want, because in different races you have prearranged marriages and stuff, and so he didn't want the one that they wanted from the rich one, the one that they wanted for him. So he wanted the dancer who was like beneath them. So I came up with that idea, and so we put it together and we shot the video, and I'm really, really most proud of that video. I really am. It really showed my artistry.
It does. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm here jamming to the beat. The beat's tight. And it's a catchy song. I like it. So guys, look out for Honey Stacks. She got the vibes. Follow her on her social media platforms. Just put your link in the chat for us so that everybody can follow. Remember, networking, guys, networking. All right, let's bring it into our third question. This question, all right, I'm not a doctor. Let me just point that out right now. So this is not my question. This is a question that was sent in. However, the question reads, is it true that a man's erection is dependent on how much he likes the woman? So when he isn't fully erect, I feel like he isn't into me. Ladies, I'm going to kick it off with a woman first. And I am going to start with Honey Stacks.
Okay. Wait a minute. I'm sorry.
You want the question again?
Yes, please. Because I was trying to do the comment thing. You told me to put it in the comments, and I was really trying to hear. So what was the question? I'm sorry, y'all.
Right. Is it true that a man's erection is dependent on how much he likes the woman? So if he isn't fully erect, does that mean that he isn't into me? I'm not a doctor, so
I don't think so, because there, you have to, it's so many things you got to determine. The age, you know what I'm saying? Like brothers, that's the older you get, you know what I mean? I'll be honest with you. I mean, the men, you might gotta do a couple tricks if you want a couple rounds, and get them. You might gotta help them, and then you also gotta worry about some of the males that drink a lot of alcohol or do some substances that may trouble, their bodies, so it really depends on the person in the situation, because you can't even say that about all older men, because you might get that 50-year-old that might, Lord, if he's been taking care of himself, he might throw you around the room a little bit. So it really does depend on the person. I'm gonna say, I'm not gonna really, although I will shout out my young 25 and young, they can go all night, they can do a couple things, right? But I'm just saying, depends on the person and what they're doing and their health-wise. This is my opinion.
But so you're saying it doesn't really mean that he's not into her?
No, it doesn't really mean, because I don't know if you guys, but like, I know I've had situations where in my past or whatever, where a guy on the first night or whatever, we decided to have sex, maybe he was soft, and maybe he was just so damn excited, he just like, wow, my thing ain't working. But then the next day, God damn, I thought you wasn't good, That's what happened. That's why I stayed in that relationship so long. But it was good. So you really can't say that.
Okay. All right. Let me hear from another female judge. Miles, the verdict.
I gotta agree. I'm over here cracking up. So I don't think that a man erection is based off of like how much he like you now. I would have to say that it get hard for me, right? But depending, let me just say that right now. You know what I'm saying? I like them hard, long, and strong. But depending on the situation, what somebody going through, one thing I learned about some men, they money ain't right. They ain't on line with providing for their family the way they want. Yeah, they be horny, but you know what I'm saying? Some of them be like, shit, I ain't really thinking about that right now. I'm thinking about a master plan. That don't mean I don't love you, but then I done met some men who it don't matter. The house can be burning down. They still want that ass. So I really just think it depends on, like Honey Sex said, the situation and the person. But I don't think necessarily that it's connected to, oh, they don't like you. And women feel that way instantly sometimes. And that might be some of our insecurities sometimes. As soon as somebody's penis go down or they ain't as hard as they used to, they instantly be like, well, is it me? It's not always us. They be going through stuff and they just don't want to tell us. So, yeah.
All right, I need to hear from the men. Kareem, what you gotta say? Just wait for Kareem. Remember, you can unmute Kareem. I think he had a step. I know he's at a show right now. So, all right. Is Dante on? I'm not even seeing Dante. Oh Lord, we ain't got no one for the men.
Yeah. Seemed like they thought the intermission was time to drop off or something.
We got Cleveland ready to tell y'all.
I know Cleveland is all. Oh, Prostel, you ready too? All right, Cleveland, hit us off.
I think, like, of course, all the female respondents have said so far, it really depends on the circumstances of the male. That, males are like any other human being. Sometimes they have a lot on their mind. I personally have had a woman think that I didn't really like her, and I'm like, where are you getting that from? But it was based on the fact that she was so fine and I was so into her, I was a little bit nervous. So it usually is the circumstances and, what you have on your mind. If there isn't any other physical situation, diabetes, blood pressure, whatever. And for me, I also know that smoke is a vasodilator, which means it cuts off the blood certain places. So it could be other situations. Definitely, it is not about how you like the woman. Because in the past, of course, when I was younger, my dick would get hard as Chinese arithmetic about some chick that I barely cared about, but she was sexy. Sorry, boo, the ass was booming. That's how that was. Did I really, really like her? Hell to the no. But, she had that sex appeal. So, no, it's really about the circumstances, what's on their mind, and the situations that you find yourself in.
Okay. Prostel, would you like to chime in?
Yeah, I want to. I mean, everybody said is so. I've had my penis for almost 50 years, and what I found is that usually that's a personal thing. It has to do with diet. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, just to be super candid and transparent, right? I'm a father of 11, former swinger. I have multiple partners. I know the difference between when I'm taking care of myself, when I'm stressed out, when I'm drinking too much, when I picked up some bad habits, when I put on too much weight. It affects performance. I will say it is entirely possible for a woman to make it. Can I use language here? For a woman to make your dick soft. Sometimes, but more often than not, that's an internal thing. Because like the brother said, when you're a young man, you could be getting up to the board to go do an arithmetic problem, and you ain't thinking about nothing at all, and you rock hard. You know what I'm saying? Like it's men's that's usually a man thing. So yeah, take care of your bodies. You only get one. Yeah. So
I have a question.
Oops, I was muted. Sorry. I was saying, Brandy, did someone say they have a question? I heard that. Who was that voice?
Me, Honey Sex. Question. It just seemed like the Jamaican guys, they penises be kind of hard all the time. Like, what is it that they do? Cause
all right. So is the sun mixed with a little rum, with a little Magnum, a little Guinness, a little punch?
Yeah. I have never ran into a soft Jamaican penis. Like you dancing or whatever. God,
and it's the gyrating, it's the rubbing up on the back. You're backing it up a little bit, and it's the rubbing.
Yeah. That's hard when they walk to you. Like,
Big up the Jamaican men. I'm sorry.
Justin.
All right, Brandy. Want to close us off with, no, you good? All right, any other male audience member wants to chime in on this question? If not, we are going to keep it moving. And so, hold on one sec. You want me to ask this or continue? Okay, so before we do that, we are going to run a quick commercial from the Heart to Heart Relationship Talk Show, which features moi. So I'm going to ask Dee to run that quick commercial so everyone can see where to follow us. Dee, over to you.
Hey everyone, welcome to the virtual staging of the Heart to Heart Relationship Talk Show. I am one of your co-producers, Trina, and we're grateful to have you joining us here today on one of our events. Now, we want to take the time to remind everyone that the show is being streamed live on the Farside TV YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe to their page where you can also find our content, which includes all our past shows and the interviews that we have been doing with our panelists. We also want to take the time to remind everyone to join us on all our social media platforms, which includes our Facebook group at Heart to Heart RTS, where we discuss topics that we didn't get to touch on the show. And also we're looking forward to give away 1 or 2 tickets to one of our upcoming virtual events. Now, with that being said, I think I've done enough talking, and I think it's time we get on with the show. So I'm gonna hand it right back over to the host. Have a good show, guys.
Hi, I'm the host. All right, let's run into question number 4. And let me just read this quickly. Okay, this has to do with friendships and when you're no longer friends with someone. So, question sent in. Have you ever had to uninvite someone, and how did you handle this? And what's the best thing to do if they show up anyway? So I'm guessing from this question, let's say you're not best friends, you're friends with someone, the relationship is severed, it's ended, but you pre-invited them, let's say to a wedding, and they've already RSVP'd. What are you going to do? What are your thoughts? How would you handle that situation? So I'm going to kick this over to Judge Miles.
I'm really blunt. It is what it is. I'm pulling the band-aid straight off. You no longer invited. You know what it is. You know what you did. You can't come. I'm gonna tell you, if you get irate, guards, escort this person out. I mean, I don't know what else to say. Like, I just had an engagement party. It was very intimate. I had a lot of people who felt obligated to be at my special moment with my man who they don't even know. And I just ripped the band-aid off, period. If you're not the closest friend and my immediate family, you're not coming. You're not invited. I don't know what else to say. This is not a free-for-all. This is about love. That's it. And, for the most part, people understood. The people who didn't understand, I really don't care.
Oh, yes. So if they RSVP, so you will basically cut that off and say, you're not invited. Or you assume that they know this.
I'm clear communication. They RSVP, I'm sending a text. Hey, listen, you know you can't come. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Honey Stats, you share the same sentiments? You're muted.
I'm a little different. I think I'm a little passive aggressive. So I think I would have a conversation with that individual, and I think I would communicate what Portia's saying. Judge Mathis is saying. Am I saying it right, Judge Miles? Did I say Judge Mathis?
Miles, Judge Miles.
Anybody on crack?
You a crackhead, sir.
Y'all all crack. All right. So sorry, y'all. But I think I would probably have a conversation like either by phone or FaceTime or something, or that way it won't be any bad blood. not saying I care so much about their feelings, but I want them to understand where I'm coming from so that we can continue on whatever kind of relationship that we have, so it won't be no negative energy, because I'm really about keeping my energy kind of positive. So I don't want any bad energy or calm anything come, towards me. So I want them to, I wish them well, but in a very nice way. Sweet.
Yep.
But
Which is basically the kind of the same thing what Judge Miles said, but she's a little more blunt with it. All right. I'm not seeing any of our men, so I'm gonna kick it over to Brandy.
I'm probably in between Judge Miles and Honey Stacks. It kind of depends on my mood, and it kind of depends on how the fallout went. Because if I feel like you got disrespectful with the fallout, then I'm going Judge Miles' way. But if it was just something really light, you still invited. We had a disagreement, we talked about it, we hashed it out, had some reconciliation going on. You still invited, but depends on how disrespectful it get. I'll probably have to go Judge Miles' way.
Okay. All right. Any of our audience members want to chime in, or are we agreeing with what our panelists have said? If so, thumbs up, and we'll keep it moving. We're good to go? All right. Let's kick it into our fifth question. And sorry, my producer says the final question. Before we get into the question, I just want to ask our panelists to remind everyone of who they are and where they can find you on social media. Please state that before you answer our final question for the night. And the question reads, okay. All right, this is a situation. It's not a lengthy one, but it's a situation. I've been married for 3 years. Last week, I won $400K off a scratch off. My husband feels that we should split the money 50-50, but I feel it's my money and I should be able to give him what I want to give him. He didn't put anything on the ticket, and it was something that I did randomly. What do you think I should do? So, AKA, I used, I guess, my money, bought a scratch off, won some money. Should it be split 50-50 because we're married, or can I give him what I feel, what you want to give him? So again, I'm headed over to our ladies first. So Honey Stacks, remind everyone where we can find you, who you are, before you answer the question.
Okay, my name is Honey Stacks. You can follow me on IG at honey_stacks, Facebook Honey Stacks. They wouldn't let me do the underscore, sorry. And then I'm also on Talk Heavy Radio, WOLB 1010 AM. And I'm also on CertifiedNationEntertainment.com. So you can follow me there. So anything that you acquire during a marriage is marital property. So my answer would be yes. I think she should split it half and half. I would have no problem if it was my spouse, I would split half and half. Even if I wanted to, even if he didn't give me the money for the ticket, he probably gave me money for other things. You know what I'm saying? So I look at marriage being joint, and I think it would be fair to do that. Now, people certainly have the right to do what they want to do, but anything that you acquire during the marriage is supposed to be marital property.
Okay. Okay. Judge Miles, give us a verdict.
Hi, you guys. Okay, so you can find me on Facebook under Comedian Judge Miles, or under Judge Miles on Facebook. You can also find me on Instagram under Comedian Judge Miles, and then you can find me on YouTube under Comedian Judge Miles. I also have a podcast that's on Podcasting 2 on Facebook called The Verdict, and you can find me on my website, www.themilesexperience.com. Now, this is getting a little tricky because the way you kind of said it. So I agree with everything Honey say. Like Honey Stacks, like you in a marriage, me naturally, I feel like I would just split it, right? But when you get to telling me what I should do with my money, see, this is different from a friendship. All right, I heard you on a friendship. All right. My money, Come on now, you taking this a bit too far. Cause I don't like people who are ungrateful. If I decide to give you $2 of it, it's more than what you had. Don't tell me how much money I should give you. Don't count my pockets. Be grateful. I don't like ungrateful people. So that will drive me nuts that you just told me like I deserve. I don't owe you anything. If I choose to do it, then yeah. But I mean, that's just natural. As your wife, I would, my money is your money. But the fact that you had to say that might rub me wrong. So, yeah.
So, what do you think they should do? What's your stance?
I think that they should do the right thing and, share it, but they should give them a talk and they should be very clear, concise that that's not how you are coming off is a bit rude and ungrateful and you're counting my pockets and I don't like that.
Okay. All right. Brandy, are we sharing the same sentiments as Honey Stacks and Judge Miles?
So my business page is, I typed it out, Conquering Relationships. You can just go to all platforms and just type that in. I do have a personal page, Brandy Yates, but we get a little hot and bothered on that page. So, if you wear your heart on your sleeves, you might not want to follow my personal page. But I personally feel like when we are in a relationship, whether that's just, girlfriend, boyfriend, and we're getting to marriage or we're in marriage, I do believe it needs to be a us mindset. And so I do feel like as women, because I think you said it was the wife, I do feel like as women, before we make those responses, we need to really look at and see how will we feel if that was his response to us. How will we be like, I'm your wife though. What? Did you really just say that to me? Or, if you're okay with him telling you that, then cool. By all means, say what you're gonna say. But I feel like in a marriage, if we're building and we're setting the foundation, we're trying to build generational wealth or, whatever it is we're doing, I feel like I wouldn't put him in a position to have to question me. Hey, this is us. We got this, baby. I got this lottery. What we doing? Where are we putting this money? What are we investing? Like it's gonna always be a we. I personally believe there should be like 3 separate accounts. And I'm going to say that only because you don't want to also just put all of your money in one pot. I do believe women and men, you should have some free money to kind of spend, how you want to spend, but not at the expense of putting yourself in debt or repo or losing a house, things like that. So long story short, I will always look at how I would feel if he was to give me that type of response.
I like that one. All right. I'm kicking to our audience. I see you, Mimi. Welcome to the show. You have to unmute and then weigh your perspective. Hi. Remember to unmute. Click unmute. There you go.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for inviting me. I'm really enjoying the show.
Nice.
And
Welcome.
I totally agree with the lady that just was speaking. I agree with her entirely. I feel like when you're in a marriage, you are a union and you do have to put yourself in his shoes. I mean, when you think about it, like the movie Stella, how Stella got a groove back, it was a whole song about it. I was your secretary for 12 years and you never gave me a dime, So you really do have to acknowledge the marriage when it comes to a significant amount of money like that. You don't want him to do that to you.
I agree. All right. Thanks for that, Mimi. Prostel, I see your hand, the raise hand icon.
Yes, ma'am. I think that you if you wait until you are in that situation, then in your marriage, if you wait until you have a bunch of money coming to the marriage to make those decisions, you already messed up. In other words, you want to be prepared. You want to have conversations about how we did with our finances way ahead of before the money come in. Like, you know what I mean? Like in my marriage, I expect us to be wealthy. I expect us to be prosperous. I expect large sums of money to come in randomly. So, we've already had conversations about how we deal with the finances before they get here. So at that point, it's just another opportunity for me to keep my word as a man, for us to work our plan as a family. Pause. Quick shout out to next month. We're doing the poly dating game at the Heart to Heart Relationship at the Cola Lounge. I'll be remiss if I didn't mention that, but I don't want to take over this conversation.
It's gonna get
Shout out to that. Shout out to that. I'm just making sure. But yeah, but that one, yeah, like if you wait until the money comes in, or you wait until there's no money, you wait till there's an emergency to figure out how you're gonna deal with emergencies, you're already putting yourself and your family at a disadvantage. You can't do that. That's irresponsible. So however y'all been dealing with the money, it's how y'all deal with that. If y'all been dealing with it separately till now, it's separate. But if y'all been putting it together, if you've been spending my money this whole time, then we gonna spend. This is our money. This is our money.
I agree.
So, every relationship is different.
We're spending it together. All right, Cleveland. I know I see that raise hand icon.
Okay, so I was thinking that it's kind of like my man said, it depends on the history of the relationship, because a lot of relationships really get funny when it comes to money. Y'all
but we
can
married.
get along.
We married.
Okay. Married. A lot of marriages get funny when it comes to money, because I know personally about some of these things, and it's like your mate's ideas about certain things can't necessarily be changed.
Mm-hmm.
You may want to help your family. You may be into spending money for college for the kids. Other people's ideas about what to do with their money is completely different. I think what that does is it really says something about that relationship. He didn't trust old girl to share with him the way he thought, or the way a relationship should have been. Money should have been shared in a relationship that had gone that far. That's why he said that to her.
Mm-hmm.
So from that point of view, I guess I have to be. He has to be applauded for being honest. But in the end, dude, you can't twist somebody's arm even if you're in a marriage.
Yeah.
She won the money. That's her luck. That's her good fortune. Hopefully she will want to share that. And hopefully you've been the dude she want to share that with. But trying to make her nah, you can't do that. Mm-hmm. You can only hope for the blessings that are supposed to come to you. You can't be twisting nobody's arm, choking somebody, talking about, you owe me this.
Is it choking?
I don't mean literally choking. I mean, you know what I'm saying? In the proverbial sense, choking. Putting pressure on, stressing somebody. Look, now, my thing is that if you've been waiting the whole time, you've been paying all the bills, you've been helping her take care of her parents, and all of a sudden, she get $400K and she talking about, well, I don't know what I'm going to do. Yeah, you might want to look at him a little side eye, like, no, you're going to break me off. That's what you're going to do. But you can't force the person.
She may not say anything and keep that money to herself.
Right.
That's the other part.
You have to know who you're dealing with and have to know the best way to approach that situation. But in the end, you could hope for the best, but she won the money. You can't make somebody do something.
But if you have that bond and that relationship, it's a given. What's mine is yours, what's yours is mine. Well, should be. But all right. I enjoyed that. So I'm not sure if anyone wants to chime in with one more question. Is everybody good with one more question before we close out the night? Just do a thumbs up and we'll do it. Oh, awesome. All right. Let me check with Mr. Producer. That one. I like how these questions just came in. They're just nice.
Make it juicy.
Oh, you want a juicy?
I mean, leave us with a bang. You got some bangers on here.
We do. You like that one? I wanted a sexual one, but he ain't got no sexual ones on here. I'll just do the face. All right, but we do have one. Okay. This has to do with dating and becoming an ex and social media. So the question, what's the best way to deal with an ex that stalks my social media? blocking isn't working, and they seem to be starting to pop up at places that I be at. So you broke it off with someone, but they're stalking you, not only on social media, but when you're out in public and places that you go. What you gonna do about that? How do you confront that? Do you confront them? Do you say something? You know, Judge Miles, I'm sorry, I'm looking directly at you. So I'm gonna hit you up first for a response. What do you do with someone who's stalking you?
I ain't gonna lie, thank God my coochie is not that good. Thank you, Lord. I don't never want nobody stalking me, want to kill me, none of that. So I've never ever had nobody like this, and I'm so happy. But I'm calling the police. Call me Karen. I'm calling the police. I'm putting out a PPO just in case I have to kill you. Yeah, I'm telling, because I don't play with that right now. We in a really crazy culture and state where men and women are losing their minds when they can't control the situation. And so I don't take that lightly. Why are you stalking me? We not together. No means no. I'm not playing with you. I don't think it's cute. Police, lock them up.
Okay. So what do you do if you see this person in public?
So I already got the PPO out. I'm calling the police. If they come any further, I got a CPL. You getting shot. I mean, I don't promote violence, but I don't know what's going on with folks. You know, these men is putting women in trunk in the city of Detroit. They killing women left and right. I don't have time to play with you. Play with your mama.
I agree. I agree. Get that license up. All right, Honey Stacks, how you feeling?
Okay, so just to give y'all a little bit of my background, I actually worked in a domestic violence. I worked for the house. I used to work for the House of the Roof, which is a domestic violence company in the state of Maryland. And I was the one who actually handled the calls for women and or men who were being abused or was experiencing some type of domestic violence. I don't condone violence in any shape, form, or fashion, whether it be verbal, financial, physical, and no shape, form, or fashion. So how I would handle that is I definitely would go to the courthouse, your local courthouse, and file a complaint, and then have that processed and keep that form with you at all times. Definitely, if you could obtain your carry license, go ahead and get your carry license, because in some domestic violence cases, you are able to carry a gun. The judge will allow you to have one, just for people who may not know. And if you see him at a place and, it always depends on the scenario. You can't really say, oh, he was there for you and boom, shoot him. You can't do that. You gotta, if he comes near you within a certain feet, according to, your paper, if you feel like, okay, this is, because what if you bumped into the person, they happen to be in the same place, you don't know. So once you are aware that this person is stalking you, you have to protect yourself by any means necessary, because you cannot give a person time to figure out like what they're going to do. You have to protect yourself by any means necessary, and that is by following all the legal procedures that you need to do, so that when you got to do what you got to do, you have enough information to be like, this is why I did what I did. But please, women, take it seriously. This is a serious topic, serious question, and please protect yourselves. I've had this situation happen, and the person violated my family member because they couldn't get to me. So knocked the person out because they could, and it was a female. So when I tell you that some of these men out here do not think straight, they don't.
Right.
And nowadays, same sex as well. So you got to be very careful.
All right. Brandy, wanting to weigh in?
No, they said everything I would say. Definitely have that paper trail. Women definitely need to start carrying more, for sure. If you do have somebody who's stalking you, we all into this technology lately. Definitely, if that happens, make sure you're always aware. Stay off them phones, be really aware, especially like she said, if you got to use that gun, you got to make sure you are in a literal position to where you have to pull the trigger and not just because. But that's all I have.
All right. Prostel, I see you had the icon up.
Yeah, I everything the sister said, but also I'd add to that. Make sure that you a lot of guys will do this when they feel like it's just them and the woman. So I'd say make sure you got people around you. You know what I'm saying, and they know what's going on. You know, I've been in more than one situation where, you know, a woman I care about is letting me know they uncomfortable by the presence of them, and as a man, it ain't even got to be egotistical and confrontational and none of that. You just got to let them know you paying attention. Like, hey, bro, like everything good. Like I noticed, you know what I'm saying? Or sis, let me know. Like she not really comfortable with you being here. Like, what's up? Like it ain't, you know. A lot of times we get into that hero mentality and we want to make it into a confrontation, but just letting the person know you see them. I see you here. She let it be known that she ain't trying to be around you. So if this goes further, you know what I'm saying? Like definitely talk to the police, all of that, but make sure that you're in places that you're not, you know what I'm saying, where you safe, where you know you're safe, you know you're around people that's gonna look out for you. You're not by yourself. You know what I'm saying? And you know, surround yourself with the right people. We're gonna take care of you.
All right. I fully agree with every single response. All right. So before we close out the show, I am going to bring up Mr. Oh, I'm sorry, Cleveland. I didn't see that. I'm sorry. You had your hand up. Wayne.
Okay, I'm going to say that I definitely agree with what the lady said about the authorities. Oftentimes we get embarrassed by certain things and we don't want to take the threat seriously, but sometimes you have to do that. I have said to numerous female friends about situations, so have you filled out a PPO about it? What have you done to leave a paper trail to let people know that this has gone too far in the wrong way? And they've been like, well, no, I don't really want to do that. You need to do that to protect yourself. The other thing my man had just said about is when a guy believes that you're by yourself. Same thing. Sometimes we get embarrassed in reference to our circle of friends about telling people what's going on with us. Tell your brothers and sisters, tell your nephews, tell your dad, tell your mom, tell your friend, this dude is acting whatever. Allow them to step up and help you in this situation. I have gone to functions with friends, female friends, just because they told me I felt uncomfortable, not only with ex-boyfriends, but around the people that I'm going to be around. Just them knowing you have somebody there to support you. People have thought, well, probably because of a couple of different things about my demeanor, is he your security person? I'm like, nah, we just friends, but it's like you find yourself in situations. Men have a tendency to try to take advantage of women when they really think that they're by themselves. When they think they're by themselves physically, emotionally, and spiritually, they think they don't have anybody to turn to. They're going to try to creep in and take advantage. When they know you have people to support you physically, emotionally, and spiritually, they are much less inclined to do that type of thing. Believe me, I have seen it. I have seen women literally have issues with men because they're always by themselves in public. And dudes know this. Once you show up with friends, once you show up with a male partner, motherfuckers fall by the wayside. I'm trying to tell you that. All you have to do is have a presence of someone who cares for you. And a lot of things go a lot differently.
Oh, yep. And ladies, I even say men too, know how to defend yourself, how to protect yourself. I mean, yes, I understand weapons, but also know how to defend yourself physically with someone so that you can be protected, because sometimes you're not always around the friends and the family, and sometimes you're on your own. So I don't care. I've always said, even if you hold me down, I'm going to get in a scratch. That's DNA. I'm going to get in a slap. I'm going to get in a thump. I'm going to get a tick. Any kick, anything, I'm going to get it in. You're not just going to get away with anything from me. Something's going to come off. Some DNA, I'm getting DNA. I'm a DNA girl. I'm a scientist. I'm going to get the DNA. I'm going to get that DNA. But with that being said, I have enjoyed myself with all our panelists and all our audience. I had a lot of fun tonight. Some of these questions, oh, yes, Ramai, mace. I agree. You don't even need to buy mace. You can make your own mace. Trust me, making your own mace is very easy. So yes, Ramai, I agree with that. But thank you guys for joining us. Before we close out, I'm going to have Mr. Producer Timothy join in and just weigh in and just give his last remarks.
What's up, everybody? Thank you guys for being a part of the Heart to Heart Relationship Talk Show. Really enjoyed the panelists' perspectives, and also you guys gave some real great advice. Thank you, hosts. You did a great job. Thank you, D Walls. Did an awesome job as well. We do have a couple things coming up. We have the Poly Dating Game and the Heart to Heart Relationship Talk Show coming up May 14th. That's
24th.
Right.
It's okay.
May 24th. And that's going to be at Cola Lounge, and this is a live show. We've already done like 2 live shows this year. Both of them almost sold out. This one, I believe it is going to sell out. People love the live shows. You get to come into one building. People submit questions anonymously. That's the difference between this and the live show, really, is that people are able to actually submit those questions anonymous, and we don't know, who turned in what, but we ask it and it gets talked about. So because of that, the questions are a little bit more personal, a little bit more, I don't know.
Oh, they're personal.
What's the
but
other word?
At the end of the show, like, they'll come to you and they'll say, oh, you had my question answered. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And they got a different view, a different perspective, because it's always one person has something to say, but hearing different views actually helps someone in terms of a situation that they encounter. So just like you gave your perspectives tonight, it's something that someone would appreciate. Whoever sent those questions in, I hope they were here on the show.
Yep. To continue to support us, all we ask is that you, like if we send a video, if you post it, that would be great. If you invite somebody to a show, let them know about the Heart to Heart Relationship Talk Show, that'd be great. I mean, that's really all we need is just that type of support, word of mouth, and then just, supporting whatever we send. So please continue to do that. Big shout out to Certified Nation. We really appreciate you for letting us get Honey Stats. She was great. Honey Stats, hopefully we can get you on another show in the future. And we look forward to actually seeing a lot more of your music.
Judge Miles,
Judge,
keep up that podcast. I've watched a few of those episodes and I'll be cracking up, especially that prison one. I was like, you need to talk to Dante because he got some prison stories about relationships. And Brandy, you're super awesome. You came to our virtual show in December, and now we have you here in April, and we appreciate you being here. I know everyone's got their busy schedule, but we appreciate that you made the time to come to the show, and we just love you guys for that. And I hope that, within the next year or so, or a couple shows forward, we can have you again on the show.
Yeah. So that being said, check us out, Fireside TV. That's where you'll find all the past shows, and you'll find new and upcoming clips on the Heart to Heart Relationship Talk Show, IG and YouTube, and also Facebook. So that being said, thank you guys. If you guys have any questions for us,
would you like to share your views on the show? Did you experience anything new? Was it fun for you? So that, anything we need to do better, you can let us know. But we'd like to hear, all right, Honey Stacks, how did you feel about the show? You're muted.
I actually really loved the show. I liked being a panelist, and I loved hearing everybody's opinions. And I like how we all respected each other's opinions and was able to still keep the dialogue flowing and without, people being in their feelings and stuff like that. I really like to have these open forums. It actually teaches me. So I really appreciate you guys having me on the show.
That's what's up. All right, Judge Miles, the Verdict Podcast. Would you like to weigh in? Did you enjoy being on the show?
Yeah, I really did. So I'm all about, agreeing to disagree. And I like to play devil's advocate a lot because a lot of times I be agreeing in my mind. I just be fucking with y'all. But the thing about it, that's how you make it juicy. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. That's true.
No. So, I love, like Honey said, I love being able to talk to people and hearing what they have to say without people being like, you stupid, you this, you that, name calling or whatever the case may be, because we all come from different walks of life. We've all had different experiences. So our opinions and perspectives will be different, period. And so it's just great to hear it. And so this is a great platform. Keep it up. I love to be with my people. I love to see us rehearsing together, being one. So this is really cool. Thank you so much. And I love to see Black, beautiful women in power being bosses. So thank you, ladies, for being on the panel with me.
Awesome. Brandy, I love your background as well. Sorry.
Yeah, I agree with Judge Miles. I feel like in our Black community, we need these hard conversations. A lot of us don't have the hard conversations. So when you have a platform where you're bringing it, and as she stated, we respectful. Yes, we didn't all agree with each other, but it didn't get like gnashing of teeth, and we didn't get real hurtful towards each other. So any platform that does that, I love it. I try to tune in every time I can.
I agree. It's like open and honest communication and keep it respectful, which everyone did. And that's why, that's the show.